about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and there he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skilled by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo will win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden, Barrett and an early touch and an excellent...
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
The men's Nigerian Premier League is set, to kick off right here in Abuja. The players will actually be, landing Abuja 11th of November, for that, particular Super 8, competition. Also, we are going to be looking at how Plateau United actually emerged winners of the Unity pre-season tournament. Salisu Yusuf and other, backroom staff of the Super Eagles of Nigeria have actually, at this point in time, they have landed right there in Morocco ahead of the Liberia class. Also, we're going to be looking at what really went down during the weekend, where we get to see Manchester United, getting to go down right there at Old Trafford in the Manchester derby, and also seeing the rise of Arsenal. Somebody is saying that trust the process of Mikel Arteta at this point in time is on the go. This is how we welcome you to yet another edition of Sport Orbit right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. My name is Olawale Ayeni, and I'll be your host for today. As you can see with me, 2 gentlemen in the studio from the other side. One is happy at this point in time, and the other at this point in time, I don't know if he's happy or he's just waiting to hear the sack of Oligono Social. But Salif Usman join us in the studio today. How are you doing?
What? I'm happy to be back on the studio again. And why you say that Alpha is very happy?
Alpha, are you really happy at this point?
Forget what is happening to Mali at the moment.
At the end of the day, it's just football.
It's just football.
So if you allow what happens in the field of football for people who are earning their wages affect your happiness as a human being, it means you have a problem.
Of course.
So
the passion is just still there and all that. But let's come back home where we started with our first story. We are talking about the slamming and blocking game right here, where the men Premier Basketball League is set to host here in the city of Abuja from the November 11th to 28th to 18th this month. We're going to see teams like Para Falcons, Rivers Hoppers, Lagos Islander, Police Batons, Kano Pillars, Gombe Bulls, Nigerian Custom, and Benue Bravers, getting to battle for a spot to play in the continent. But Salifu, looking at the Nigerian Super 8, this release actually is coming from the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport. That because of the crisis, rocking the Nigerian Basketball Federation at this point in time. But is the Super 8 safe in the hands of the Sports Ministry at this point in time?
Well, I think so. This league is not just a new league; it's just a concluding part of the what the Musakida led board did recently in Abuja. And so they have 2 conferences, Savannah Conference and Atlantic Conference. While the Savannah Conference was held in Abuja and the Atlantic Conference was held, so it's just the top 4 of those conferences that are coming to match in Abuja to decide the actual winner of the league. And it is good that the ministry has taken over because of the crisis in NBBL. And by now we're supposed to have a new board.
Yes.
But unfortunately, because of the crisis and the infighting in the direction, we put the election could not put to place a new board. So since there's no any board in place, and the ministry, in order to allow it, remember, you're supposed to supposed to present a team and play in the basketball African League. And so if there's no winner, then we will not have a representative in that. It's not enough to play that vacuum. And that's why the ministry can't wait until the new board come and conclude the league. They need to haste up and prove that the winners will emerge to represent Nigeria. And if you look at the calibers of the teams that are going to play in the top 8, Gombe Bull, Kano Pillars, Kwara Falcons, River Hoppers. I think these are the top basketball in the league, except that the first bank is not here. If not, those people that whoever emerge from this team, they will strongly believe that will give Nigeria a good representative in African basketball league. But I'm hoping that between I'm just if I'm to predict that I'm just like the likely winner of this league, then they come either Gombe Bull, Kano Pillars, Kwara Falcons or River Hoppers.
Of course,
don't forget Nigeria Custom also.
Of course, Alpha, the last edition, we saw, Rivers Hoppers, getting to represent Nigeria in the, basketball African League, but they couldn't actually, play well. I think they were actually kicked out in the first round. But looking at the arrays of team, that will be, competing in the Super 8. Who do you, tip to actually win this particular Super 8?
Well, I mean, they are all top teams here. I mean, there's a reason why all of them have made, the last 8, because they have some certain level of pedigree. Of course, you have River Supers there, Lagos Islanders are there, of course, Kano Pillars, Gombe Bulls, so these are all, these are all top teams, So, but tipping who will emerge as winners right now is a difficult one to call. In this kind of situation, any of these teams can eventually emerge. But one other thing I even like to comment on, the way we even hold our leagues in this place, I wanted to say that apart from that, this is more like using the right word for it. This is actually a mini tournament. And in the past in Nigeria, we are beginning to resort to that kind of thing. We saw that happen even with the handball championship. We say we are playing a league, but what we do is assemble players in one venue and they just play. It's more like a tournament. A league is supposed to be on a home and away basis. And that's how it is. So I really think that we need to get our acts together. Be that as maybe this is a good start. I feel maybe Kida wants to see that something he started should be completed. Since it's looking more likely like he might not, retain that seat anymore. So this will go down as one of his achievements. He'll be able to say, at least while I was there in my tenure, I was able to do this and this and that. So good for them. And I hope that at the end of the day, our basketball will be better for it. And we'll get a good champion who represent us at the African Basketball League to hold later in the year. So I think that's the most important thing.
If I don't think Kida will take this as a credit, but for a federation that for 4 years could never end of your term for election.
But you know how things work here in Nigeria. Exactly. So
it's also sad that in the last 4 years there was no Nigerian Premier League when it comes to basketball until today.
And that is when you talk about the River Hopper that went to present. How they perform when you are not playing. And whoever even match from this top 8. We don't expect them to do that. Because this is not enough to prepare anything for any African league.
Let's just see how it pans out. Let's see how winners will get to match, because I know Kano Pillars is very experienced. I think when it comes out to basketball in the country, they have a whole lot of experienced players who has played for the national team, and they're still with Kano Pillars at this point in time. But let's just see how the league will come up when the league starts right here in the city of Abuja, 8th of November up to 11th of up to the 18th of November, hopefully. But away from basketball, quickly head straight to football. Yesterday, where Plateau United emerged, the champions of the Unity pre-season tournament after defeating Accra. That's talking about Nasarawa United right at the FIFA Gold Project right there in the 3 ground. It was 1-0 in favor of Plateau United and that particular one. And look at the Unity pre-season tournament. Pre-season tournament have been holding over the country, left, right, center, but At this point in time, no league, no date yet for the start of the Nigerian professional football. We're talking about the NPFL. But quickly, Salih, looking at the quality of play during the Unity tournament, do you say that the next MPFL season that will start, are we assuring Nigerians that it's going to be more competitive than what we have seen in the past?
If at all the MPFL is going to start, the next season of MPFL is going to start, this Unity preseason is a good test for this club who participated in this program, and I congratulated the club that participated to take that opportunity to participate in this competition because they have stayed for a very long time. And I believe for these 2 weeks of football, which their team is given them, so at least each of the club play a minimum of 4 matches or 5 matches. So that is good. That is a good test for them. And if you look at the final yesterday, Plateau United and Nassau United, it was a call. It was too close to know who is likely to be a winner. Just that Plateau United were so lucky to score an early goal in the 7 minutes of the counter, and they head on to that 7 minutes. They couldn't add anyone, and they couldn't allow Nassau United to equalize, and that separated the 2 teams. But it was a good competition this time. Everyone who were there at them pitch give credit that yes, we commend the organizer, and I also use to commend the Patrick who led the team for putting off this befitting tournament. It was a befitting tournament, deserved of the status as a youth tournament. And it's good, and it's also good to state that private this is in private individual arrangement. There was no support from the government. The private sectors are ready. Private can do something if given the needed support and encouragement. So maybe we should even come up with a private league.
Of course, no, we wanted to hold a private league, and at the end of the day, it didn't see the light of the day because so many people in the NFL actually kick against it.
The league management we see today under NF arrangement has disappointed.
Of course,
because there's nothing to write home about. Because you are holding a league without the winner will play without even know whether you are going to take anything or nothing. At the end of the day, after you play, no club is sure when and where, and then when we start the season. Club are paying players, you are paying your player, and you don't even know where those players are going to be used. So it is unfortunate. And anytime you requested the Jehu Diko to come and talk to you, to come and say anything, they only decline to the
But Alpha, looking at National United at this point in time, where you get to see them, they played, the finals of the FA Cup, and they didn't get to win. They played the final of the Unity preseason tour at this point in time. They didn't get to win. What is really happening at National United?
Well, this is a preseason tournament and all of that. So I was really hoping that National United will, step up. But with that, it's more like a derby playing against Plateau United. So I think the better team actually won in this game. So, but I don't think that shows that National United have some sort of crisis, so to speak. But good one for Plateau United because it was like Sam said, it was a keenly contested competition, and of course Plateau United emerging as the winners. Like we're saying, if private concerns can come up with this kind of tournament, there's nothing wrong in a few private people putting heads together and say we want to start a league. Like I gave an instance the other time, the EPL, for instance, is not a government arrangement. It's a private sector driven thing. The FA there is just there to act as a regulatory body. They don't have any input, so just to provide referees and all of that. And the regulatory. But the EPL is completely a private affair. It has nothing to do with government. That's why you see some issues like during the COVID period, the government actually had to appeal to clubs, in allowing some number of sales. Not that government came out to say, okay, you must allow. They had to appeal to the clubs because it's a private thing. So they knew that if they come down hard, people have invested money, people will lose money.
Of course.
So they had to appeal to them because of COVID. Please, let your stadiums accommodate so and so number of people. So I believe that if private people are given the opportunity, they'll even do better. And the way it's even going, are you sure we're going to have a league this year? Even next year? Because don't forget that Nations Cup starts in January. We have the World Cup next year.
Of course.
So when is the league going to start? So if at all the league happens, we are still going to have what we call an abridged league. And it's only in Nigeria where we only be
have,
having what we call an
league.
abridged league.
Of course, just so
Because this is November already, December. So if the league doesn't start in November, I don't see the league starting in December. Nations Cup is in January.
Of course.
After that,
Even eventually, when the
World
league
Cup
gets to
comes
start in December, they will tell us that they want to
Exactly.
go for Christmas break.
Yes. So in these abridged leagues, at the end of the day, you don't really get who emerges as winner. You don't really. It's not someone who you can say, okay, this person deserves to emerge as a winner in this kind of abridged league. So, but well, kudos to organizers of this pre-season tourney, and I really hope that the LMC will take a lead from this. If they cannot organize the league, privatize the league and let the private individuals take over this league and let's have some football.
Just like you say earlier, the element you have is a private arrangement.
Yeah.
But we don't see the element of private.
That's what they're saying.
Those who are there,
people.
they are not doing anything. That's what I'm saying. If you are not, it is only in this country that if you know that you can't give anything again, if you know that you're savvy, you lack any idea, you cannot make any input, give way to people who are ready to contribute. But people who are ready to sit tight, say Udiko have been there for over 7 years, and you are sitting tight, and you don't have anything to give, and you cannot make an arrangement to have a league. For almost 4 years, and we are playing a league without a sponsor, and yet you don't give way for people who can bring in somebody who can arrange. Just what to have in the Unity Cup, a private arrangement for a non-individual. It's a former vice chairman of FA, journalist for that matter. But just arrange some group of people, and they held this league for good competition, 4-week competition without any breakup. And everybody who participates in that competition will give a test of what has happened. Even Sheikh yesterday was at the end of the match, and I'm sure it should be a scheme of what the private individuals put in place like yesterday.
Of course, at this point in time, just to let you know, Andrew Kife was the one that actually scored the goal for Plateau United in that particular one. Where they have Shedrack Peters of Fosla FC emerged as the best goalkeeper of the tournament. Kingsley Frederick of Simon Ben FC emerged as the best defender. Tolulope Oluwole of Nasarawa United emerged as the highest goal scorer, while Ruben Bala of Plateau United was adjoined the most valuable player of the tournament. For now, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, Super Eagles officials have actually landed in Morocco ahead of the Liberia clash. We're going to be looking at PSG chief Fums over Messi's Argentina call-up for the World Cup qualifiers. Also, going to be looking at Manchester United. What really went down over the weekend. Even Liverpool at this point in time, they're not even fine with us doing that. So, but let's go for a short break, and when we come back, this and many more will come on Sports Public. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
world's orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome from that short break. You're still spot upbeat right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. We head straight to Morocco at this point in time, where Salifu and others technical officials of the Nigerian Super Eagles have already at this point in time they have arrived, Morocco ahead of Liberian, clash in that particular one. Also, just to let you know that Francis Uzoho will not be in action for the Nigerian Super Eagles. He has been replaced with John Noble of Ayimba United, Ayimba, International at this point in time. Salifu will be playing Liberia on November 13th, right there in Morocco. And at this point in time, it's expected that this 3 points or nothing for Coach Benetro aside. Can this be achievable if we really want to qualify for the final rounds of the World Cup?
Yeah, it's very achievable to put our hands together because of the match. I don't think Liberia will see yesterday and will become a different Liberia tomorrow. So definitely, but what is right is for us to play our game and put our hands together. Because if you are not underrating the Liberian, and most importantly, that playing the match will also give us some advantage instead of the usual African characters of when they are going to play in their home. They use all tactics to frustrate you. So definitely, Liberia have lost that opportunity of using they always play this tactic of trying to frustrate you right from the airport to the hotel, just to ensure that you lost concentration. But they have lost our opportunities. So I see this as a neutral ground for everybody. I don't think the Liberia will have any connections or any leakage or any connection between Morocco and Nigeria. So definitely it will be just a neutral ground, and that our player coming from where they are coming from, they also enjoy that weather to play in Morocco and any other than Liberia. So it's a good opportunity, and we need to win this match. Anything shorter than victory, it's very going to count against us. More importantly, that we have game fair once again chasing us from the back.
Of course, we have seen the inclusion of Johnny Gallo to the national team. You know that the Super Eagles will be playing that match at the Grand Stadium, the Tigra right there in Morocco. Gallo now is back to the Super Eagles. Is he going to bring a whole lot to the team? The young players going to benefit from the experience of Johnny Gallo?
That's about that. After all the hues and cries from Nigerians, sport loving fans, of course, and also journalists, the NFF in conjunction with General have still gone ahead to invite Gallo. So, I mean, at this point in time, I mean, we can't keep crying. The deed has been done. So, but I think now that he's in the team, notwithstanding, yes, he might be playing in Saudi Arabian League, but I believe that he's still a quality player. He still has an eye for goal. Yeah, I mean, in these days, sometimes when it comes down to it, it doesn't really matter. It depends on how fit you are on the day of the game and how you can deliver. So I believe that now that he's been included finally in the team, the only thing he can do is to help the team in qualifying, and of course, and while he's there, the young players also should use this as an opportunity to learn from him. I'm sure a couple of them might have wanted to play with him in the past, even before he retired. Now they have the opportunity. So the best the young players can do from Igalo now is to simply learn from him. And like Salifu said earlier, it's good that we are playing in a neutral ground. So the usual things that happen when you go to play in the continent will not be happening there, because I don't see how Liberia will go to Morocco and try to influence. None of that will be happening. So it's completely a neutral ground. So I think somehow it has worked out in the favor of the Eagles. Now it's just for the Super Eagles to go out there and get all 3 points. That's the most important thing now.
Because the Super Eagles must go out and get all 3 points. That is actually coming from Alpha. The Super Eagles of Nigeria will play Liberia right there in Morocco on 13th of November. Also, we're expecting them to deliver the goods for the country, so that when it comes to Nigeria, they can actually finish up against Cape Verde. That particular match will happen right there in Lagos at the Tesla Balogun Stadium. Let's see how it pans out in that particular one for the Nigerian Super Eagles. Still talking about football at this point in time. PSG chief at this time, talking about the sporting director, Rolando at this point in time, is actually furious about the invitation given handed over to Messi for the Argentine, World Cup qualifier, due to the fact that Messi is down and is actually recovering from a knee and hamstring injury in that particular hand for PSG. We saw him; he didn't actually play against Leipzig in that 2-2 draw, but now PSG, they're fully that the international not having invited Messi for the World Cup qualifier. But sadly, for the presence for me, I feel the presence of Messi will actually send a signal to other countries. They'll be playing Brazil and they'll be playing Uruguay for. Is an important clash if you must tell me, and every coach will want his best player in the team. But looking at the invitation being handed to Messi and the reaction from PSG, what is your take on that?
What in as much as I understand the position the PSB are carrying from because of the fact that Messi is not fit.
Mm.
He didn't play the Champions League just like you say, and even yesterday he was not he couldn't play yesterday due to injury. But the PSG has to also understand that Messi is a national hero, a captain of Argentine team, is the leader of the team. So whether he's going to play or not, his presence in the team make a lot of cool impact. So the coach, the entire national side, either Messi is fit or is not fit, they always need him to be around. The PSP should understand, but the only thing that the Argentine also to also understand that in as much as they need Messi to be around, they should also look at his fitness. If he's not fit for the man, you must not play him because you don't need to take a risk against the health of the player. If the player is not fit to play, but it is important that they should have him around because of the leadership role he commands in the Argentine national team. So I think you should understand from that angle. But Argentina should not take that man because he's available and he's not fit to play. They should force him to play.
Of course, let's see how it pans out. Let's go to another big story where we have Arsene Wenger. Once again, he's saying I should have left Arsenal for another club. But he actually, according to what he actually said, I identified myself completely with the club. That was a mistake I made. He said my fatal flaws is I love too much where I am. Where I was, I regretted it. I should not have gone anywhere else. But after looking at the comments from Arsene Wenger, 22 years, he was at Arsenal. And we saw him leaving the scene for the coming of Julian Emery and Mikel Arteta at this point in time. But looking at it, should he have actually leave Arsenal then?
It's difficult to say what would have happened. I think that's his opinion. Like he said completely. For a lot of us who were watching the Premier League around that period, it was hard to really separate Arsene Wenger from Arsenal. In fact, the first time I even heard his name, I used to think it was the owner of the club. So and these are the icons of the league. Him alongside Alex Ferguson. Since I've been people started watching United, I always knew United with Fergie. So it was like the in thing then to have this sort of coaches who spend years and years. So I really don't think for him it should be something of regret. Yes, fine, and you might want to say okay, the number of years he spent. Yes, some might want to say okay, the success he achieved might not be commensurate with staying that long. But be that as it may, still. I mean, you cannot still deduce his contributions to what the Premier League is today. Of course. Like even Ferguson has said this several times before when I came to the Premiership. When I actually brought flair, of course, to the Premiership. Before he came, almost every team was playing kick and follow football. Ferguson himself said it was when Wenger came that he too had to reinvent himself and started bringing some flair into United. So Wenger has contributed a lot to not just the Premier League but to football in general. So I don't think he should have any regret with his team there. I mean, he has contributed a lot. So it's.
But if I may say, the only person that should be people that is really the club, Arsenal that should have the regret. Because just like
of letting him go,
of not even of letting him go, of having long time coaches. It's what you mind, it's what they are suffering today. Today Arsenal is finding difficult to recover because even you have a particular tied to one coach.
Absolutely.
So that is so the same thing. Man is also suffering to that. Arsenal is also suffering it.
Of course, my producer is telling me now time is up, but quickly, we know that John Terry at this point in time is currently actually describing 5 years away. That is actually describing Manchester United. We know how they actually felt during the weekend when they lost at home to Manchester City. For me, it was a game that actually saw Manchester City taking Manchester United to the cleaners in that particular. But quickly, let's just run down what really happened over the weekend. Brentford lost at home to Norwich City 2-1. Chelsea, the actual draw against Burnley 1-1 ended right there at the stand. Crystal Palace with 2-0 winners over Wolves. We have seen a resurgence in Crystal Palace in that particular one. They won Manchester City last week, and this week they're going to put past Wolves City. Brighton draw against Newcastle 1-1. Arsenal, they're saying trust the process at this point in time. They won Watford 1-0 right there at the Emirates Stadium. A few weeks ago, Arsenal, were fighting relegation, but right now, Arsenal is just 2 points behind the title contenders, talking about Liverpool in that particular. They are sitting on the 5th position, Liverpool in the 4th position, West Ham in 3rd position, who actually defeated Liverpool yesterday at 3-2. It ended right there for the Hammers. David Moyes at this point in time, he's the man getting to do all the job for West Ham. Leicester City draw 1-1 to Leicester City. Also, they return of Antonio Conte to the English Premiership. So Tottenham, getting to draw away at Goodison Park. Talking about Everton, the match ended 0-0. Quickly, guys, let's look at the results that actually went down in the English Premiership. Salifu, quickly, what was the surprising results that actually went down over the weekend?
Well, the surprise is already you may see especially the Man U Man City to ended 0-0. But one thing is that in as much as I don't agree with John Terry that the Man U are doing today is 5 years away to catch up with Chelsea. That is right for. But you don't think it's just a joke, because the Man U fans get at him first by uploading his picture on the Instagram or the Twitter. When they saw him when he was trying to even the Dutch champion find out to the Man U. So why should the fans bring such? And that irritates him to even tell us, say, well, we even have 5 years to catch up with Chelsea. But that is not it can be the statistics we have today cannot show that Man U is far distant from Chelsea. They are almost at par. Forget that Man U have a crisis at the moment, but they are on the par. So I think it was a fantastic result, and also another surprising result was West Ham defeating Liverpool. I didn't saw that coming.
At the London Stadium.
It shows that everybody should be worried about West Ham, and the West Ham we are seeing now. I think to beat in the Premier League. So and David Moyes, kudos, he's doing well at that club. That's a good one. And at the same time, just like you see, our own former Arsenal legend. Vieira is doing a fantastic job at the Crystal Palace. So after beating Manchester City, they showed that beating was not a fluke. They defeated the Wolves in 2-0. Kudos, and I hope he will be able to sustain this. That's a good one.
Alpha in 2016, that is how we saw Leicester City getting to beat their big teams. This season, West Ham has defeated out of the big six, that defeated 3 of them. Are they not on their way to win their first ever Premier League title?
The difference with what happened with Leicester and West Ham is West Ham led the table from the day they won of the league. So that's a different matter altogether. When you're on top of the table, when you start firing like that, you lead. So for Leicester, they led all through, and by this time, they are extending their lead. So by this time, it was becoming clearer that something might happen. But for West Ham, they are coming from behind, so it might be a bit difficult. But I see them finishing in the top 4. But sometimes in the Premier League, really, you can't really tell. If you notice, back-to-back seasons ago, Leicester City were in the top 3 for almost like the whole of the season until the last 3-4 games of the season. And they couldn't even make the Champions League anymore. So sometimes the Champions League can be very, very tricky. So sometimes for me, I still think, whether I like it or not, these are still early days. We haven't still gone very early days, So for now, it's difficult to start making all kinds of predictions. And late drama will still happen in this league the way it's going.
Of course, late drama will happen in the English Premiership at this point in time. 11 matches have been played so far. This week is going to be an international break, so hopefully games will return and next week by God's will. This is where we hit the breaks for our sports orbit right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. It has been nice, talking sports with Salif Usman and Alpha. to right here in the studio. Also, want to thank our viewers for staying with us right from the beginning up to this point. Also, thank all our producers behind the scene who are actually doing all the magic to ensure that we have a good production today. Till we come your way same time tomorrow. I am Olawale Ayen. I'm saying I do have a good day ahead of you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.